Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. Hey, if you're looking for repair videos, you would like to watch Eric the Car Guy videos, and that's on my other channel. So I'm going to post a link in the description to the Eric the Car Guy channel, and if you're looking for repair videos, you can head over there. However, if you want to stick around for the discussion here on ETCG1, you're more than welcome to do so. Well, today's topic I've decided to be flipping cars. There's a whole lot out, well, let's put it this way. There's a lot of entrepreneurial things going on these days because, let's face it, the job market sucks. So a lot of us are looking for ways to either create an income or supplement an income or something of that nature. And one of the things that often comes up in my inbox and over at my forum is the prospect of flipping cars. For those of you not familiar with what flipping cars is, it's pretty simple. You go out and you buy some vehicle that may be mechanically or may have some body issues or something like that at a relatively bargain basement kind of price. Then you turn around, you do whatever work to it. Many people do whatever work to it that needs to be done. And then you turn around and sell it for a profit. The cost of the vehicle plus the cost of the parts and your time and effort going into it. Hopefully on the other side, you end up in the black. I say hopefully because I have known and I've worked with several people that do precisely this. Even people with dealer licenses, people that have used car lots, which in essence used car lots are, the business of flipping cars, if you will. Not so much on a private basis, but they do precisely that. They go out and they find vehicles that might be disadvantaged. Then they do whatever needs to be done to them, then they put them out in a lot, and once again they try to sell them for a profit. I'll tell you this right now. It is an extremely difficult business. And it's an extremely difficult business for a number of reasons. I would not expect to make a profit. It is very difficult to make a profit. And here's some of the reasons why. One of the main things you have to know if you're going to get into flipping cars is the value of the vehicles that you're dealing with. And first and foremost, above anything else, you really need that. Without that, you're kind of in the dark. And the problem is, as far as the value of a vehicle, you got Kelley Blue Book, you've got other, I know Europe's got some version of that basically lays out the going rate for a particular make and model and the condition that it's in. They usually list, poor, fair, and good condition, and sometimes excellent condition. So they usually have like different levels of condition to go along with those prices. Obviously, the closer you are to excellent or good condition, the more the vehicle is going to be worth. The closer you are to poor condition, well, not going to be worth so much. But here's the thing, that's all part and up to interpretation. So it's really what someone is willing to pay for a vehicle that dictates what a vehicle is worth. At the end of the day, I think any car salesman would agree with that. Whatever somebody perceives a vehicle to be worth and what they're willing to part with financially is what that thing is worth. You can look at book prices, you can look at this, that, and the other thing, but ultimately, especially in the used car or used vehicle market, that's what's going to say what that thing is going to sell for. And there's where the knowing the value of a vehicle comes in. Knowing what someone will pay for a vehicle is worth more than just the little background knowledge of knowing how much that vehicle would list for. And what it will list for and what it will sell for are often two very different things. Anybody that's ever sold a vehicle at auction knows this. Sometimes people go nuts, sometimes not so much, and you end up losing your shirt on the thing, especially if you got no reserve. We'll leave auctions for another video. So if you're going to start flipping cars, you need to know the value of the vehicle that you're looking to purchase or you're looking to flip. In addition to that, you need to be able to assess that vehicle and its condition as accurately as possible. That's the hard part. You can do mechanical inspections, things like that all day long, but I could say you're kind of at a disadvantage unless you are a particular expert in that vehicle or vehicle line. Those are the people you really want checking those things out. Let's do this. If you're a dealership technician, you're very accustomed to your brand, the makes, the models, their particular year or particular model run. You become very familiar with their little idiosyncrasies, their little quirks, the service bulletins that came out on them that well, hey, that's actually covered under extended warranty, we can get this done. That inside information is huge. as far as being successful with flipping cars, because you don't want to buy vehicles that end up needing so much work that you price them right out of the market. So just for round numbers, you buy a vehicle for $1,000. It's not in the best of shape, it needs a little help. It's worth $3,500 fixed up and ready to go. Well, you get in there and you start looking and all these other things, and all of a sudden you find out, well, maybe that transmission's on its way out. Well, that just blew your budget right out of the water. And poof, you're underwater in the vehicle and you have to sell it just to break even, just to minimize your loss. Because now you've spent more than the vehicle's worth. You can try to sell it for more, but once again, the person that's going to lay their money down is basically going to tell you how much that vehicle's worth. A lot of you get your ideas from television and shows like, in particular, Wheeler Dealers. Well, let's talk about Wheeler Dealers real quick. Ed China is kind of a hero of mine. If you notice, we kind of have the same job in a way. Ed, if you're out there, you're awesome. The thing about Wheeler Dealers is Mike sits there at the end of the program and he tallies up what he paid for the car, he tallies up the parts that he got, he tallies up, the paint job and all that other kind of stuff, ends up with a base price. And then from there, they try to squeeze out a little more because Mike knows the market. Mike is the market expert. Ed is the mechanical expert. So you got two people, you got a dynamic duo, if you will, that are working together to try to maximize profit. Actually, they're making a television show. And I'll tell you what, every single car, I would say 99% of the vehicles that have gone through there came through at zero profit or less. Wait a minute, Eric. Mike's sitting there saying they just made 1,600 pounds on that last sale. Well, think about it. When have you ever seen Ed get paid? When have you ever seen Ed list out the time and labor that he put into that? You see, this is where it gets tricky because, okay, so say you're like Mike and you partner up with an Ed China. You partner up with somebody who's very mechanically savvy, has a bunch of tools, and is able to do this. This is probably your best case scenario. Doing this on your own, yeah, you kind of need to be an expert in a couple of different disciplines, and it's hard to be an expert in both of those disciplines. But if you were quote unquote paying or splitting profits and things like that, you're losing money on those perceived profits because you never factored in that labor. Don't ever think that your time isn't valuable, because if you spend a month of Sundays to try to turn something around and that time could have been spent working on other vehicles that could have been more profitable, you've lost money. Now, you may not see it that way, but in essence, if you're spending your time focusing on one thing that's costing you a bunch of time, it's actually costing you money. It's true what they say, time is money, especially in this field. So you need to factor that in, and unfortunately that show never talks about what Ed got paid. Now, yes, they're making a television show, I get it, but what they're putting out there is, I don't want to say misinformation, but it's not the reality. Other shows like Fast and Loud or Counting Cars, where they go and they get these classic cars and they fix them up and they run them through the shop and everything else, those guys are highly specialized, and they've been doing this for a number of years. There's not many shops out there that are capable of doing that kind of thing and actually making a profit. It's not easy. So what I'm hoping to impart into this conversation is that flipping cars is a tricky business, and you better know your market and you better know the vehicles that you're looking to flip before you get involved, because many times you'll find yourself underwater. And I'm just putting that out there as a word of caution. I'm saying that, okay, flipping cars can create a viable income, but that income could come with a price, and that income could be much smaller than you think for the amount of time you invest into it. Sure, if that's your thing and you love those kind of cars, like say you do it in classic cars, like those shows that I just mentioned, and you're out there doing that kind of thing, and that's what you love. You love driving around classic cars, you love dealing in classic cars. That's awesome, okay? In a way, it kind of doesn't feel so bad losing money on those vehicles, because you know that you saved something from the crusher. You saved it from being destroyed. You've made it so that it lives on well beyond you, well into the future, so that others and future generations can know the joy and beauty of a 69 Camaro or a 69 Mercury Cougar. Ooh, that would be nice too. And those types of things. Those iconic vehicles wouldn't be around today if there weren't people out there to love them and to bring them back into the world and sometimes sell them for a profit. Be wary is all I'm saying. Now, I welcome your opinions on this. I do, because I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of opinions on this and some of the things that I've mentioned. But at least in my experience, the people that I've worked with directly that do this type of thing, own used car lots, try to flip cars on the side, honestly, it's rare that they actually turn a decent profit. And at the end of the day, a lot of times they're left scratching their heads and saying to themselves, was it really worth it? You have to love it. Every once in a while, you're going to get lucky. And that's what keeps you coming back, I think. Every once in a while, you'll find that car for $100, and all it needs is a set of tires and an oil change and a couple of gaskets. And poof, you turn it around and you make, $3, $4, $5 grand. And that is a really good day, okay? But then next week you pick one up, you think you got a real gem for $300, you bring it in, you find out it needs a transmission, you get in there, you start working on the transmission, you find out there's other issues with the engine you didn't see initially, you find out there's issues with the suspension, you find out there's issues with some electrical problem that you just can't find. And on and on and on and on, and next thing you know, you're completely underwater in the thing, and you don't care. You just want to get rid of it. You just want to sell it so you can move on to the next thing and hopefully make a profit on the next one. Now granted, that's just how business works. Business has its up and downs. Any small business person will tell you this. You have good months, you have bad months, and hopefully it all evens out and you're in the black at the end of the day and you're done paying taxes. I look forward to your comments on this wonderful topic of flipping cars. In the description there will be a link to the forum discussion that will be about this video, and also of course the comments if you wish to comment there. Hey, if you have automotive questions, I have got a website for you. It's called ericthecarguy.com, and on ericthecarguy.com, as soon as you land there, you will see a list of categories and topics, the most popular categories and topics that I've been asked about over the years. And I've basically written a bunch of articles to try and address your concerns immediately when you land on the website. Hey, if that doesn't work out for you, feel free to sign up for our forum. There's a bunch of happy, friendly people over there that are more than willing to help you. It's free to sign up for. You just need to be sure to respond to the confirmation email that should end up in your inbox. If it does not, you can contact the support email, support@ericthecarguy.com, and we'll take it from there. Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, and I close each of my videos with be safe, have fun, and stay dirty. I'll see you next time.